I didn't see you there. Did you know that there's still time to choose the right major? 80% of students switch at least once, and you can too. Join the marketing program today. Anyway, now that I'm here, welcome back to Western Wave Productions, where we bring you from campus to career. I'm Preston. In today's video interview, we are speaking to marketing alumni Rose Kular. Before we get started, make sure to check out the marketing program's website using the QR code here or the link below. Now, without further ado, here's Rose. Hi Rose, thank you for coming out today. I'd like to start by just asking you what brought you to Western?
I actually am originally from Bellingham, so it was just location-wise. Made the most sense for me, honestly.
When you were here, I want to know, what was the favorite marketing class that you took?
I think probably IMC ended up being really helpful. I also really liked digital marketing, so that was fun too, but I think a mix between that and IMC.
And then what about those classes would you say stood out to you more compared to others?
I think for IMC, the idea of kind of connecting a brand through all of its like marketing platforms, like I never have really thought about it that way, like how, you know, your visuals on social media should be the same as your website, should be the same as kind of like the sign outside your business physically, and just the idea of making sure you're being consistent through your marketing. I think that's like a really big thing when you actually go into businesses. Businesses kind of struggle with that actually, but the concept seems so simple. So I think that was really interesting to learn. And then for digital, we're just living in a digital world right now. So it's just kind of really necessary to know those things. And at least one of those skills is going to be on like every job you apply for. So it's just kind of essential to know.
I'd love to know, would you recommend that current students participate in events the College of Business and Econ or marketing specifically hosts?
Yeah, definitely. I think, honestly, for getting a job, it's a competitive environment right now. So I feel like if you're just doing the bare minimum in your classes and that's kind of your only focus, I think you're going to struggle to find a job afterwards. I think it's definitely important to either make connections or go the extra step of really learning how to apply your skills so that you can walk out of this program with a little bit of a portfolio, even if it's small. But if you do have a professional portfolio where you could go to employers and be like, this is what I've done, these are the metrics of some social medias I've done, or whatever it might be, I think it's definitely kind of an essential for the job market these days, whether it's internships or programs or networking.
I'd love to hear what you think stands out about the marketing program when you would compare it to other majors here at Western.
Well, for marketing, I think for me, like marketing and all, I think it was always a fun mix of analytical and creative. You can definitely get into data analytics with marketing and fulfill that side of it, and then also you can be more creative where you're working on designs, where you're working on logos, and you're looking at the creative, like the physical look and feel of a brand. So I think for me, it's really fun because you get both sides within one program. So if you're a person that likes both things, I would really recommend that. I also think, you know, marketing program has some really great professors that also work in the industry and teach. I think that's really important for them to kind of stay relevant on what businesses are looking for these days.
As a graduate from the marketing program, what marketing roles have you had professionally?
I've worked as kind of like a social media manager where it was just making a lot of social media graphics, event marketing for that. I worked as a marketing coordinator at a woodworking and metalworking company, which was pretty large. A lot of budgeting, coordinating between products department, sales department, just all the departments. And my job as a marketing coordinator was just to make sure things were happening and honestly coordinating. And it was really interesting to see how marketing really works into the whole of a company and how important it is to drive the success of a company, that it's not just kind of like a one-off. If you want to, you can. It is really essential. And currently, I'm working as a program marketing manager for Snow King Hockey, which is a youth hockey association. So with that, I'm doing a lot of creating emails for different programs. I do a lot for social media, emails, Google Ads, and kind of really managing my program, which is the youth hockey program, where we have over 900 players. So recruiting a lot in the Seattle area and doing a lot of different events and email marketing and stuff like that.
How do you feel Western made you prepared for any of the marketing roles that you just said you've had?
I think when you initially graduate and when you're especially looking for jobs, it's really hard to kind of figure out how am I going to really translate these skills. That transition can be a little rough, and I feel like it is rough for most people. But I think you just need to recognize that once you go in and once you work in that role, I would give it a couple of months. I feel like things kind of slowly start to click in. And unfortunately, like, there are things where it's like you'll learn this in a school setting where like things are supposed to work this way, and then you go professionally and they're like, oh yeah, we don't do that. And it's like you learn more about kind of corporate buy-in and what it takes to really make some of these buy-ins work. Because the other thing you have to recognize is when you start working, not everybody has a marketing background, like academically. So not everybody knows the value of what it can be. So you kind of have to advocate for marketing overall in your professional experience to then make it kind of work. But I think it gives you the foundational skills that you need. And then after that, it is honestly a lot up to you as to when you go into roles, making sure that you're asking questions to your managers. And for me, what was really important for when I was graduating and I was looking at jobs is I wanted a job where I did have a marketing manager and I had a support of a team where I could learn from others as well. So I think continued learning. If you walk out of Western and you think, like, that's all my learning, I've learned everything I need to do, I have my bachelor's degree, now I'm just going to go ahead and do it, I think that's a bit of a falsehood. I think you have to have the mindset of, I'm going to continue learning, and then you can really expand on those things that you've learned. And what you learn at Western is really just going to be the foundational skills of what you're going to end up needing later on.
Boo! Didn't mean to scare you. Just wanted to make sure you take advantage of this great new opportunity to connect with Western alumni. It's called Western Bridge, and it's a Slack channel that's free to join where students and alumni are already connecting with each other. Don't miss out. Click the link below or scan the QR code on screen now. Back to your regularly scheduled broadcast. Speaking on your marketing roles, do you feel that there's specific skills that students at Western now could learn that would help them to get the roles that you've had or other roles?
I think copywriting is something that I didn't really... It's something that's kind of needed, and if you have that skill, especially if you're able to integrate copywriting with SEO, that's just what a lot of businesses are looking for. If you're drafting emails, a lot of that is copywriting, and even social media captions, you're copywriting too. So sometimes I've worked in a team where we did have a copywriter in our marketing team, so that wasn't up to me, and now I'm working where there isn't a copywriter, so I take on that role. So I think that's a skill that would be helpful. I feel like social media is a little bit more easy to find out, but also like Google Ads and Google Analytics and taking those certifications. And also if you do have the opportunity to apply some of those skills, I think that can definitely be helpful. If you are able to get some website coding experience, you can understand a basic HTML, especially in a marketing role, it really does kind of become a catch-all. Sometimes people are going to expect you to be a web designer, they're going to expect you to be a graphic designer, they're going to expect you to be a social media, and then they're also going to expect you to have like marketing strategy. If you know one of those skills is where you want to go into and you want to go into that specialized skill, then I would put all my weight towards that and focus on that. But overall, if you don't know which way you want to go, I think if you can gain just a little bit of knowledge on each of those topics, it would just really help you out.
We heard you talk today about the fact that students should take advantage of outside of class activities and clubs to build their network. Are there other things that you would recommend to students to help them succeed professionally?
Yeah, when I was in my undergrad, I actually, I worked as a bank teller and I worked other professional jobs, which weren't directly marketing related, but were professional and corporate. I think that actually really does help because it helps you learn some corporate skills you're going to need, whether it's interviewing, how to, if you're speaking to customers, clients, business relation partners. During your undergrad, I really do think it's important to also get job experience while you're also in school. I know that can be tough, it was tough for me too, balancing both, but I think if you're able to get professional experiences, if you have those opportunities, even if it's like a bank teller job, it's that directly didn't teach me any marketing skills, but I think it still kind of helped, like how are you presenting yourself professionally in a professional environment. And it definitely taught me skills on like budgeting and accounting, which I did end up needing in my marketing coordinator role. So those skills can really translate.
My last question for you today, if you could leave a current student with one piece of advice, what would that be?
I think to just take advantage of where you're at. I think focus on where you're at. If you have opportunities, even if you're scared to go for them, even if you fail, there's still a chance, there's that like quote, like you miss all the shots you don't take. So it's like, just take the chance, take all the opportunities you can, be proactive about getting opportunities if you can.
Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to Rose for coming in and talking to us. Make sure to check out the Western Marketing website linked below and join the Western Bridge so you can easily get connected with marketing alumni. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.